Okay, so I'm not gonna make a video about it running or anything like that. There's plenty of videos out there already. But just making this video just to show some people, some friends, what I did. So I took a associated DR10 no prep drag car. You can see in plum crazy purple. Sorry, I don't have a lot of light in this room. And it was a non-licensed body, but I always felt that it looked very similar to the Brazilian Dodge GTX. Yes, Brazilian, and yes, Dodge, not the Plymouth GTX that we have in the United States, but down in Brazil, they have different cars, and one of which is a Dodge GTX. I believe maybe around 1968, around that time. But the way I looked at it is that it looked like a B body. And the reason why I got one of these no prep drag cars is because I like on-road cars. I'm not so much into trucks, that sort of thing. And I do like trucks, but I like cars better. And on-road cars just don't have any suspension. As you can see, this has plenty of suspension because basically this is, the chassis is a modified stadium truck chassis, but it has shorter control arms, so the wheels are pulled in more. So it does still have sort of a squared off look to it, but with the nose that I added on there, it looks a little bit less squared off. Because the thing is, I don't go to tracks or anything like that. I don't have a lot of smooth surfaces. I usually fool around with my RC stuff in the driveway and out in the street. And a lot of times there's a lot of uneven surfaces. So with that in mind, I needed something with suspension. So when these came out, I thought this was great. I bought this off of Amazon. It was on sale for $200. It was around Christmas time, and I think I've seen the price actually dip down to like $175 for these cars during certain holidays and that sort of thing, which is a great price for a brushless car. So basically, I am using this out in the street, and the body was so low to the ground. It was like really low. It was like, sort of like that. And also I got a little problem with wheel clearance because the holes for the hood pins are off center. But I needed to raise the body up, but then I was thinking, like, if I raise the body up, it's going to catch air underneath on the front. Hold on, let me get the front. So this was the front that was on there. I took it off when I made the nose, but before I thought about the nose, I wanted to raise the body up so it wasn't, hitting the sidewalk and stuff like that. I could get a little more clearance, but I was thinking if I did that, if I go fast, it could catch air underneath. So then I was thinking, well, I need some sort of an air dam or spoiler in the front. So then I said, I need something with downforce, and that's where I came up with maybe doing a Daytona Charger, 69 Daytona Charger, or 1970 Plymouth Superbird type of nose. It kind of morphed into the Superbird. I've always liked the Superbirds a little bit more than the Chargers. I think because of the blacked out front, maybe, and also the angle of the wing. There is a difference between the actual production cars. The Superbird actually has more of a swept back wing compared to the Daytona Charger. And also, that hood scoop reminded me of the old six-pack hood scoops on the 1969 and a half Super Bs with the 446 packs. And it's kind of cool that it has like the little KV rating of the motor on the hood scoop. So anyway, I made the nose cone and the wing out of pieces of aluminum. So I just used this is aluminum flashing. It's aluminum flashing that you could get at Home Depot. You go to the roofing section and they sell rolls of this stuff. So I had some for a project for the house, so I was using this. I use this for model cars sometimes if I need to do anything. It's fairly pliable for the most part, and I actually cut it with just a good pair of house scissors. Don't need cutting shears or anything like that. So the first thing I did was I just started making a template to see what parts I would need. So this is a 4-piece nose cone, And the wing is actually one piece. If you do it right, you can draw out a template and, you know, using some creativity. This is actually double walled. This is folded over. This is double walled, and this is double walled also. And I actually put some barbecue skewers inside here to give this some support so it doesn't sag. Yeah, I do expect this to roll once in a while, and this is gonna get caught, so you'll have battle scars. And then let me pull off the body, and then you can see the nose cone a little bit better. And I chose not to do flip up lights just because it would make it less complicated, especially if I do damage the front end. Then I have to worry about like the headlight pods not lining up and stuff like that. So you can see I just used a basic LED set, 4 lights red in the back, 4 lights white in the front. And you can see I made like little headlight buckets, headlight pods, that sort of thing. So you can see I made one big piece of metal here for the top part of the nose cone, and then 2 side pieces, and then a bottom piece. And then I just made cuts for the headlights, that sort of thing. Okay. And this also, the way I set up the chassis is that I put in one of those cheap Amazon sound boxes. I think it was on sale for like $17. That's fairly low for that one. And I repositioned the power switch over to the side, and then I managed to put in the speakers here. Had to cut off a little bit of the corner of that speaker. Here's a control module, and then there is the button for the volume. Oh, sorry, the button is for the different exhaust sounds. This one I believe has 10, but not all of them are very good. But I found one that I like. It's the second one in. It keeps on reverting back to a different sound, so it's the second one in. I select with that button, and there's the volume right there. And then I removed the wheelie bar just because I'm running 2S right now, and I don't need the wheelie bar. If I put a 3S in there, once I you know, fool around with it on the road, then I will be able to see if it does wheelies and stuff. The 2S, it doesn't do wheelies that much. Especially now since I put the added weight of the sound box in there, it probably won't even more. But if I do the 3S, you know, I'll think about putting the wheelie bar on there. I took it off primarily because the thing is, if I'm jumping off sidewalks and stuff like that, then I'm not going to want the wheelie bar in the way, you know, it'll just sort of get broken, that sort of thing. So if I'm out sort of just fooling around with it. There are some decent videos of this going out and being bashed and everything like that. It's fairly durable. So if I turn it on, so I put on the second one, pushing the bar. I like this one. So it's a dual speaker system. Alright, so that's on. So you can see the headlights. I've yet to drive this out at night, but I'm assuming that I have the headlights angled at a pretty decent angle, and it should give me some illumination. I'm just going to put this, oops, sorry, just so you can hear it. Right now, this is on the lowest exhaust sound right now, lowest volume. So once I get it outside and I'm fooling around, I'll probably turn it up. I left the plastic on there for now. So that's it. So it wasn't too bad to make, but you had to do some bending. I glued all the pieces together with shoe glue. Oh, let me turn this off. I glued all these pieces together with shoe glue. I love using shoe glue for doing household repairs, hobby projects, that sort of thing. So everything's just glued together with that. And again, this is just like the same aluminum, and that's it. So maybe you'll go out there and make a different type of car or something different. It's kind of fun, especially since this is a fairly reasonable price for $200 for this car. It's kind of fun to modify. All right, that's all.